Hello, shalom, and welcome to Cover with Jeremy Pyers. Alright, so today's, excuse me, today's part 9 of Jubilees. So, excuse me, something in my throat there. So, Jubilees has just been full of everything, just context. It adds more to the stories that are in Genesis. It goes right along with everything in Genesis. There's nothing that doesn't go along with scriptures in this book. I don't get it why people will just toss these books out, honestly. It's either their understanding is extremely lacking or they just haven't read it at all and they're just going off what other people say. Which my guess is probably the latter. Because if you have any understanding at all, you'll see this. It's right along with Scripture. Jubilees, Enoch, the 12 patriarchs, the Testament of Moses, Testament of Abraham. Everything I've read on here is right along with Scripture. You can test it all for yourself. These are my conclusions that I've come up with. And it just all fits. Yeah, I've been avoiding Facebook as much as I can lately, and I felt a lot better. There hasn't been as many arguments and fights, although there still is those that come. And I just don't like arguing for days on end on a Facebook comment and then being made to look like the bad guy and, oh, your fruits are bad. It's like, I'm just done with all this fighting and arguing. I don't take condescending comments and passive aggression. I was abused by my ex-wife. Like, that stuff don't fly with me. Like, we all have things to work on. I know I do. None of us are perfect. Anyway, let's get right in to the reading. So we left off chapter 25. So, chapter 25. And in the second year of this week, in this Jubilee, Rikvah called Yaakov her son, and spoke unto him, saying, My son, do not take you a woman of the daughters of Canaan, as Esau your brother, who took him 2 women of the daughters of Canaan. And they have embittered my soul with all their unclean deeds. For all their deeds are fornication and lust, and there is no righteousness with them, for their deeds are evil. And I, my son, love you exceedingly, in my heart, and my affection bless you every hour of the day, and watch of the night. And now, my son, hearken to my voice, and do the will of your mother, and do not take you a woman of the daughters of this land, but only of the house of my father, and of my father's kindred. You shall take you a woman of the house of my father, and El Elyon will bless you. And your children shall be a righteous generation, and a holy seed. Then spoke Yaakov to Rikvah his mother, and said unto her, Behold, mother, I am 9 weeks of years old, and I neither know nor have I touched any woman, nor have I betrothed myself to any, nor even think of taking me a woman of the daughters of Canaan. So the whole big deal about not taking the daughters of Canaan is because Canaan was cursed. So if they took these daughters of Canaan, their children would be cursed as well. And that's exactly why, all through scriptures, through Genesis, I should say, it talks about do not take the daughters of Canaan. Don't take them. Because they were accursed. For I remember, mother, the words of Abraham our father, for he commanded me not to take a woman of the daughters of Canaan, but to take me a woman of the seed of my father's house, and from my kindred. I have heard before that daughters have been born to Laban, your brother, and I have set my heart on them to take a woman from amongst them. And for this reason I have guarded myself in my ruach against sinning or being corrupted in all my ways throughout all the days of my life. For with regard to lust and fornication, Abraham my father gave me many commands. And despite all that he has commanded me, these 22 years my brother has striven with me, and spoken frequently to me and said, My brother, take to be your woman a sister of my 2 women. But I refuse to do as he has done. I swear before you, mother, that all the days of my life I will not take me a woman from the daughters of the seed of Canaan. And I will not act wickedly as my brothers have done, as my brother has done. Fear not, mother, and be assured that I shall do your will, and walk in uprightness, and not corrupt my ways forever. And thereupon she lifted up her face to the heaven and extended the fingers of her hands, and opened her mouth and blessed Elyon, who had created the heavens and the earth. And she gave him thanks and praise. And she said, Blessed be Yahuwah Elohim, and may his holy name be blessed forever and ever, who has given me, Yaakov, as a pure son and a holy seed. For he is yours, and yours shall his seed be continually, and throughout all the generations forevermore. Bless him, O Yahuwah, and place in my mouth the blessings of righteousness, that I may bless him. And at that hour, when the Ruach Sadak descended into her mouth, she placed both her hands on the head of Yaakov and said, Blessed are you, Yahuwah of righteousness, and Elohim of the ages, and may he bless you beyond all the generations of men. And may he give you, my son, the path of righteousness, and reveal righteousness to your seed. And may he make your sons many during your life, and may they arise according to the number of the months of the year. And may their sons become many and great beyond the stars of heaven, and their numbers be more than the sand of the sea. And may he give them this goodly land, as he said he would give it to Abraham, and to his seed after him always. And may they hold it as a possession forever. And may I see born unto you, my son, blessed children during my life, and a blessed and holy seed may all your seed be. As you have refreshed your mother's ruach during her life, the womb of her that bore you blessed you thus, my affection. And my breasts bless you, and my mouth and my tongue praise you greatly. Increase and spread over the earth, and may your seed be perfect in the joy of heaven and earth forever. And may your seed rejoice, and on the great day of peace have peace. And may your name and your seed endure to all the ages. And may El Elyon be their Elohim, and may the Elohim of righteousness tabernacle with them. And by them may his sanctuary be built unto all the ages. Blessed be he that bless you, and all flesh that curses you falsely, may it be cursed. And she kissed him and said to him, May Yahuwah of the world love you as the heart of your mother, and her affection rejoice in you and bless you. And she ceased from blessing. So, honestly, blessing our children like this, in this way, I think this is actually important. I think this is why, like a lot of pastors and preachers, children, etc., grow up and rebel. Because they don't give them blessings like this. I kind of just started realizing this myself. Because they're always giving their sons these blessings like this. And that's how it continues. So I was thinking, I gotta start blessing my children like this. And I have started doing that. I need to do it more, but you have to give them that blessing and declare that blessing. And that's the whole thing. It's pretty amazing. Alright, chapter 26. And in the 7th year of this week, Yitzhak called Esau, his elder son, and said unto him, I am old, my son, and behold, my eyes are dim in seeing, and I know not the day of my death. And now take your hunting weapons, your quiver, and your bow, and go out to the field and hunt and catch me venison, my son, and make me savory meat, such as my soul loves, and bring it to me, that I may eat, and that my soul may be blessed before you. That my soul may bless you before I die. But Rivkah heard Yitzhak speaking to Esau, and Esau went forth early to the field to hunt and catch, and bring home to his father. And Rivkah called Yaakov her son, and said unto him, Behold, I heard Yitzhak your father speak unto Esau your brother, saying, Hunt for me, and make me savory meat, and bring it to me, that I may eat, and bless you before Yahuwah, before I die. And now, my son, obey my voice, in that which I command you. Go to your flock, and fetch me 2 good kids of the goats, and I will make them savory meat for your father, such as he loves. And you shall bring it to your father, that he may eat and bless you before Yahuwah, before he die, that you may be blessed. And see, this is also, why a blessing like that is so important. Because once it's done, it's done. You can't take back a blessing, no matter who you give it to. That's why we have to be careful with our blessings as well. We can pray for people, and giving blessings is something totally different. It's just something I'm kind of starting to realize, actually. Yes, they pass on the blessing to the elder's son before the father dies. Always. And everyone who knows scriptures knows this story, so. And Yaakov said to Rivkah his mother, Mother, I shall not withhold anything which my father would eat, and which would please him. Only I fear, my mother, that he will recognize my voice, and wish to touch me. And you know I am smooth, and Esau my brother is hairy, and I shall appear before his eyes as an evildoer, and shall do a deed which he had not commanded me. And he will be wroth with me, and I shall bring upon myself a curse, and not a blessing. And Rivkah his mother said unto him, Upon me be your curse, my son. Only obey my voice. So, Rivkah is taking the curse that would be on Yaakov for deceiving his father into getting a blessing. Which is why Yaakov gets blessed and not cursed. And Rivkah his mother said, and Yaakov obeyed the voice of Rivkah his mother, and went and fetched 2 good and fat kids of the goats, and brought them to his mother. And his mother made them savory meat, such as he loved. And Rivkah took the goodly raiment of Esau, her elder son, which was with her in the house, and she clothed Yaakov, her younger son, with them. And she put the skins of the kids upon his hands, and on the exposed parts of his neck. And she gave the meat and the bread which she had prepared into the hand of her son Yaakov. And Yaakov went into his father and said, I am your son. I have done according as you bade me. Arise and sit and eat of that which I have caught, father, that your soul may bless me. And Yitzhak said to his son, How have you found so quickly, my son? And Yaakov said, Because Yahweh Elohika caused me to find. And Yitzhak said unto him, Come near, that I may feel you, my son, if you are my son Esau or not. And Yaakov went near to Yitzhak his father, and he felt him and said, The voice is Yaakov's voice, but the hands are the hands of Esau. And he discerned him not, because it was a dispensation from heaven to remove his power of perception. And Yitzhak discerned not. So, for his hands were hairy as his brother Esau's, so that he blessed him. And he said, Are you my son Esau? And he said, I am your son. And he said, notice the wording though. He doesn't say, I am Esau, your son. He just says, yeah, I'm your son. I mean, it's technically not a lie. And he said, Bring near to me, that I may eat of that which you have caught, my son, that my soul may bless you. And he brought near to him, and he did eat. And he brought him wine, and he drank. And Yitzhak his father said unto him, Come near and kiss me, my son. And he came near and kissed him. And he smelled the smell of his raiment. And he blessed him and said, Behold, the smell of my son is the smell of a full field, which Yahweh has blessed. And may Yahweh give you of the dew of heavens and of the dew of the earth, and plenty of grain and oil. Let nations serve you, and peoples bow down to you. Be Gevier over your brethren, and let your mother's sons bow down to you. And may all the blessings wherewith Yahweh has blessed me, and blessed Abraham my father, be imparted to you and to your seed forever. Cursed be he that curses you, and blessed be he that blesses you. And it came to pass, as soon as Yitzhak had made an end of the blessing his son Yaakov, and Yaakov had gone forth from Yitzhak his father, he hid himself, and Esau his brother came in from his hunting. And he also made savory meat, and brought it to his father, and said unto his father, Let my father arise, and eat of my venison, that your soul may bless me. And Yitzhak his father said unto him, Who are you? And he said unto him, I am your firstborn, your son Esau. I have done as you commanded me. And Yitzhak was very greatly astonished, and said, Who is he that has hunted and caught and brought it to me? And I have eaten of all before you came, and have blessed him, and he shall be blessed, and his seed forever. And it came to pass, when Esau heard the words of his father Yitzhak, that he cried with an exceeding great and bitter cry, and said unto his father, Bless me, even me also, father. And he said unto him, Your brother came with guile, and has taken away your blessing. And he said, Now I know why his name is named Yaakov, because he has supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright, and now he has taken away my blessing. And he said, Have you not reserved a blessing for me, father? And Yitzhak answered and said unto Esau, Behold, I have made him your Gevir, and all his brethren I have given him for servants, and with plenty of grain and wine and oil have I strengthened him. And now what shall I do for you, my son? And Esau said to Yitzhak his father, Have you but one blessing, O father? Bless me, even me also, father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Yitzhak answered and said unto him, Behold, far from the dew of the earth shall be your dwelling, and far from the dew of heaven from above. And by your sword you will live, and you will serve your brother. And it shall come to pass, when you become great, and do shake his yoke from off your neck, you shall sin a complete sin unto death, and your seed shall be rooted out from under heaven. Ouch, it's not the blessing he was wanting. And Esau kept threatening Yaakov because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And he said in his heart, Excuse me, May the days of mourning for my father now come, so that I may slay my brother Yaakov. Chapter 27. And the words of Esau, her elder son, were told to Rivkah in a dream. And Rivkah sent and called Yaakov, her younger son, and said unto him, Behold, Esau, your brother will take vengeance on you, so as to kill you. Now therefore, my son, obey my voice, and arise and flee to you Laban, my brother, to Haran, and tarry with him a few days, until your brother's anger turns away, and he remove his anger from you, and forget all that you have done. Then I will send and fetch you from thence. And Yaakov said, I am not afraid. If he wishes to kill me, I will kill him. But she said unto him, Let me not be bereaved of both my sons one day. And Yaakov said to Rivkah his mother, Behold, you know that my father has become old, and does not see, because his eyes are dull. And if I leave him, it will be evil in his eyes, because I leave him and go away from you. My father will be angry, and will curse me. I will not go. When he sends me, then only will I go. And Rivkah said to Yaakov, I will go in and speak to him, and he will send you away. And Rivkah went in and said to Yitzhak, I loathe my life, because of the 2 daughters of Heth, whom Esau has taken him as women. And if Yaakov take a woman from among the daughters of the land of such as these, for what purpose do I further live? For the daughters of Canaan are evil. And Yitzhak called Yaakov and blessed him, and admonished him, and said unto him, Do not take you a woman of any of the daughters of Canaan. Arise, and go to Aram Naharaim, to the house of Bethuel, your mother's father, and take you a woman from thence of the daughters of Laban, your mother's brother. And El Shaddai bless you and increase and multiply you, that you may become a company of nations, and give you the blessing of my father Abraham, to you and your seed after you, that you may inherit the land of your sojournings, and all the land which Elohim gave to Abraham. Go, my son, in peace. And Yitzhak sent Yaakov away, and he went to Aram Naharaim, to Laban, the son of Bethuel, the Amoree, the brother of Rivkah, Yaakov's mother. And it came to pass after Yaakov had arisen to go to Aram Naharaim, that the Ruach of Rivkah was grieved after her son, and she wept. And Yitzhak said to Rivkah, my sister, weep not on the account of Yaakov my son, for he goes in peace, and in peace he will return. El Elyon will guard him from all evil, and will be with him, for he will not forsake him all his days. For I know that his ways will be prospered in all things wherever he goes, until he return in peace to us, and we see him in peace. Fear not on his account, my sister, for he is on the upright path, and he is a perfect man, and he is faithful, and will not perish. Weep not. And Yitzhak comforted Rivkah on account of her son Yaakov, and blessed him. And Yaakov went from the well of the oath to go to Haran on the 1st year of the 2nd week, in the 44th Jubilee. And he came to Luz on the mountain, that is, Beth El, on the new moon of the 1st month of the week. And he came to a place at evening, and turned from the way to the west of the road that night. And he slept there, for the sun had set. And he took one of the stones of that place, and laid under the tree. He was journeying alone, and he slept. And he dreamt that night, and behold, a ladder set up on the earth, and atop of it reached the heaven. And behold, the angels of Yahweh ascended and descended on it. And behold, Yahweh stood upon it. And he spoke to Yaakov and said, I am Yahweh Elohim of Abraham, your father, and the Elohim of Yitzhak. The land wherein you are sleeping, to you I will give it, and to your seed after you. And your seed shall be as the dust of the earth, and you shall increase to the west, and to the east, and to the north, and to the south. And in you your seed shall all the families of the nations be blessed. And behold, I will be with you, and will guard you, whithersoever you go. And I will bring you again into this land in peace, for I will not leave you until I do everything that I have told you of. And Yaakov awoke from his sleep, and said, Truly this place is the house of Yahweh, and I knew it not. And he was afraid, and said, Dreadful is this place, which is none other than the house of Elohim, and this is the gate of heaven. And Yaakov arose early in the morning, and took the stone which he had put under his head, and set it up as a pillar, for a sign. And he poured oil upon the top of it. And he called the name of that place Beth El, but the name of the place was Luz at first. And Yaakov vowed a vow unto Yahweh, saying, If Yahweh will be with me, and will guard me in this way that I go, and give me bread to eat, and raiment to put on, so that I come again to my father's house in peace, then shall Yahweh be my Elohim, and this stone, which I have set up as a pillar for a sign in this place, shall be Yahweh's house. And of all that you give me, I shall give the 10th to you, my Elohim. isn't talking about a tithe. He's just talking about giving a tenth. Just because it says a tenth doesn't mean it's a tithe. Just because a tithe is a tenth doesn't mean everything that says a tenth is a tithe. There's context for that. And if you'd like to know more about that, you can watch my video on the difference between the Melchizedek and the Levitical priesthood. Alright, so chapter 28. And he went on his journey, and came to the land of the east, to Laban, the brother of Rechbah. And he was with him, and served him, for Rachel his daughter, 1 week. And in the 1st year of the 3rd week, he said unto him, Give me my woman, for whom I have served you 7 years. And Laban said unto Yaakov, I will give you your woman. And Laban made a feast, and took Leah his elder daughter, and gave her to Yaakov as a woman, and gave her Zilpah his handmaiden for a handmaid. And Yaakov did not know, for he thought that she was Rachel. And he went in unto her, and behold, she was Leah. And Yaakov was angry with Laban, and said unto him, Why have you dealt thus with me? Did I not serve you for Rachel, not for Leah? Why have you wronged me? Take your daughter, and I will go, for you have done evil to me. For Yaakov loved Rachel more than Leah, for Leah's eyes were weak, but her form was very handsome. But Rachel had beautiful eyes, and a beautiful and very handsome form. And Laban said to Yaakov, It is not so done in our country, to give the younger before the elder. And it is not right to do this, for thus it is ordained and written in the heavenly tablets, that no one should give his younger daughter before the elder. But the elder one gives first, and after her the younger. And the man who does so, they set down guilt against him in heaven. And none is righteous that does this thing, for this deed is evil before Yahweh. And commanded you, the children of Yasharel, that they do not this thing. Let them neither take nor give the younger before they have given the elder, for it is very wicked. And Laban said to Yaakov, Let the 7 days of the feast of this one pass by, and I shall give you Rachel, that you may serve me another 7 years, that you may pasture my sheep, as you did in the former week. And on the day when the 7 days of the feast of Leah had passed, Laban gave Rachel to Yaakov, that he might serve him another 7 years. And he gave to Rachel Bilhah, the sister of Zilpah, as a handmaid. And he served yet another 7 years for Rachel, for Leah had been given to him for nothing. And Yahuwah opened the womb of Leah, and she conceived and bore Yaakov a son, and he called his name Reuben, on the 14th day of the 9th month in the 1st year of the 3rd week. But the womb of Rachel was closed, for Yahuwah saw that Leah was hated, and Rachel loved. And again Yaakov went in to Leah, and she conceived, and bore Yaakov a second son, and he called his name Shimeon, on the 21st of the 10th month, and in the 3rd year of the week. And again Yaakov went in unto Leah, and she conceived, and bore him a third son, and he called his name Levi. And in the new moon of the 1st month, in the 6th year of this week. And again Yaakov went in unto her, and she conceived and bore him a 4th son, and he called his name Yahudah, on the 15th of the 3rd month, in the 1st year of the 4th week. And on account of all this, Rachel envied Leah, for she did not bear. And she said to Yaakov, Give me children. And Yaakov said, Have I withheld from you the fruits of your womb? Have I forsaken you? And when Rachel saw that Leah had borne 4 sons to Yaakov, Reuben and Shimeon, and Levi and Yehudah, she said unto him, Go unto Bilhah, my handmaid, and she will conceive, and bear a son unto me. And she gave him Bilhah, her handmaid, to be his woman. And he went in unto her, and she conceived and bore him a son. And he called his name Dan, on the 9th of the 6th month, in the 6th year of the 3rd week. And Yaakov went in again unto Bilhah a second time. And she conceived and bore Yaakov another son. And Rachel called his name Naphtali, on the 5th of the 7th month, in the 2nd year of the 14th week. And when Leah saw that she had become sterile and did not bear, she envied Rachel. She also gave her handmaiden Zilpah to Yaakov, to be his woman. And she conceived and bore a son, and Leah called his name Gad. And on the 12th of the 8th month, in the 3rd year of the 4th week. And he went in again unto her, and she conceived and bore him a second son. And Leah called his name Asher, on the 2nd of the 11th month, in the 5th year of the 4th week. And Yaakov went in to Leah, and she conceived and bore a son, and called his name Issachar, on the 4th of the 5th month, in the 4th year of the 4th week. She gave him to a nurse. And Yaakov went in again unto her, and she conceived, and bore two children, a son and a daughter. And she called the name of the son Zebulun, and the name of the daughter Dinah. In the 7th of the 7th month, the 6th year of the 4th week. And Yahuwah was gracious to Rachel, and opened her womb. And she conceived and bore a son. And she called his name Joseph, on the new moon of the 4th month, in the 6th year, in this 4th week. And in the days when Joseph was born, Yaakov said to Laban, Give me my women and sons, and let me go to my father Yitzhak, and let me make a house. For I have completed the years in which I have served you, for your 2 daughters, and I will go to the house of my father. And Laban said to Yaakov, Tarry with me for your wages, and pasture my flock for me again, and take your wages. And they agreed with one another that he should give him as his wages those of the lambs and the kids, which were born black and spotted and white. And these were to be his wages. And all the sheep brought forth spotted and speckled and black, variously marked, and they brought forth again lambs like themselves. And all that were spotted were Yaakov's, and those which were not were Laban's. And Yaakov's possessions multiplied exceedingly, and he possessed oxen and sheep, and asses and camels, and men servants and maid servants. And Laban and his sons envied Yaakov, and Laban took back his sheep from him, and he observed him with evil intent. Chapter 29. This will be the last chapter for this evening. And it came to pass when Rachel had borne Joseph, that Laban went to shear his sheep, for they were distant from him a 3 days' journey. And Yaakov saw that Laban was going to shear his sheep. And Yaakov called Leah and Rachel, and spoke kindly unto them, that they should come with him to the land of Canaan. For he told them how he had seen everything in a dream, even all that he had spoken unto him, that he should return to his father's house. And they said, To every place whither you go, we will go with you. And Yaakov blessed the Elohim of Yitzhak his father, and the Elohim of Abraham his father's father. And he arose and mounted his women and his children, and took all his possessions, and crossed the river, and came to the land of Gilead. And Yaakov hid his intentions from Laban, and told him not. And in the 7th year of the 4th week, Yaakov turned his face towards Gilead in the 1st month, on the 21st thereof. And Laban pursued after him, and overtook Yaakov in the mountain of Gilead in the 3rd month, on the 13th thereof. And Yahweh did not suffer him to injure Yaakov, for he appeared to him in a dream by night. And Laban spoke to Yaakov. And on the 15th of those days, Yaakov made a feast for Laban, and for all who came with him. And Yaakov swore to Laban that day, and Laban also to Yaakov, that neither should cross the mountain of Gilead to the other with evil purpose. And he made there a heap for a witness, wherefore the name of that place is called the heap of witness, after this heap. But before they used to call the land of Gilead the land of Rephaim, for it was the land of Rephaim, and the Rephaim were born there. So the Rephaim are they're another version of Nephilim. And Rephaim, whose height was 10, 9, 8, down to 7 cubits. And their habitation was from the land of the children of Ammon to Mount Hermon. And the seats of their kingdom were Kiriathaim, and Ashtaroth, and Edrei, and Mizur, and beyond. So if you just watched my Nephilim video, we kind of go into all this as well. Rephaim, Nephilim, all the same. And Yahweh destroyed them because of the evil of their deeds, for they were very malignant. And the Amorim dwelt in their stead, wicked and sinful. And there is no people today which has wrought to the full all their sins, and they have no longer length of life on the earth. And Yaakov sent away Laban, and he departed into Aram Naharim, the land of the east. And Yaakov returned to the land of Gilead. And he passed over the Yabok in the 9th month, on the 11th thereof. And on that day Esau his brother came to him, and he was reconciled to him, and departed from him unto the land of Seir. But Yaakov dwelt in tents. And in the 1st year of the 5th week, in this Jubilee, he crossed the Jordan, and dwelt beyond the Jordan. And he pastured his sheep from the sea of the heap unto Bet Sean, and unto Dothan, and unto the forest of Malaah Akrabim. And he sent his father Yitzhak of all his substance, clothing, and food, and meat and drink, and milk and butter, and cheese, and some dates of the valley, and to his mother Rivkah also 4 times a year, between the times of the months, between plowing and reaping, and between autumn and the rain season, and between winter and spring, to the tower of Abraham. For Yitzhak had returned from the well of oath, and had gone up to the tower of his father Abraham, and he dwelt there, apart from his son Esau. For in the days when Yaakov went to Aram Naharim, Esau took to himself a woman, Machalath, and the daughter of Ishmael. The daughter of Ishmael. And he gathered together all the flocks of his father and his women, and went up and dwelt on Mount Seir, and left Yitzhak his father, at the well of oath alone. And Yitzhak went up from the well of oath and dwelt in the tower of Abraham his father, on the mountains of Hebron. And thither Yaakov sent all that he did send to his father, and send his mother from time to time all they needed. And they blessed Yaakov with all their heart and with all their soul. Alright. So that is where we are pausing for this evening, family. So, the Book of Jubilees is one of my favorites. If you hadn't noticed, it's got a lot of content, and it's really long. Just like the Book of Enoch is, which we're going to do, or I should say, which I'm going to do after this. So my plan is, after Jubilees, go to do Enoch. And after Enoch, I'm going to do all of Paul's writings to show and prove he followed Torah, he followed Messiah, and he doesn't preach a different gospel. He's not a false apostle. Not one bit. And we're going to get into that. It's probably going to be a while, because Jubilees and Enoch... We're probably like not even halfway through Jubilees, honestly. Maybe we are. I have to double check, but Shalom, and thank you for being here, Andrea. Thank you. You know, I do it for all of you. And that's why I do these. Thank you all for joining me. Thank everybody who likes and subscribes and shares. I just appreciate all of you guys. And I hope you guys have a blessed evening. Don't forget to join next week for part 10. And yeah, have a blessed week. Have a blessed evening. We will see you next week. Mishpacha.